station, its staff, management, or sponsors. AMP2.TV presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on AMP2.TV. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Welcome to After Hours.
Ooh, look at that shot of you up close and personal.
No, I don't like that shot. That just scared me. Scared the bajingas out of me. I hope they can hear us at the radio station. Because this has been a wild ride today.
It has been a Monday. It's all I can say to you. Happy tax day to you. I just spoke to Boston to try to figure out what's going on. They had the Boston Marathon today. Yes, they did.
I think they ran over the wire.
They actually had, I was listening on the way over here, they had the winner of the male's wheelchair and the female wheelchair. I did not realize that the marathon is broken up into different categories, which is pretty cool.
The marathon is broken into different categories.
There's the marathon as a whole, and they also have a wheelchair category, a male and a female category.
I think that the problem is that they ran over the wire.
Did you?
Yes.
Because ran over the wire? I think they ran over the wire. You know that big wire that goes from God down to this radio station?
That's what happened.
I think so, too. We're going to give this a take, too.
They ran over the wire, and we lost the connection.
So should we say welcome to the brunch hour?
No, not the brunch. This is the after hour.
This is after hours.
Get your hours right.
But we did attempt today to connect to Boston on WCAP. The Brooklyn Cafe Show will now be syndicated in Boston as well as WWNN in Boca, which is pretty.
From your mouth to God's ear.
Well, there was a blip, and we were there. It's kind of like, we're rolling and going.
I don't know why there was a blip. I see a blip now. I don't know why.
I think there's been a Comcast issue down here in South Boca. I had one at my house this morning, so maybe
Well, we
that's
just
part of
walked in here to a Comcast issue.
Correct. That's why I think that's what that might be.
You think that's what it was?
I think so.
I think Daniel fixed everything. Daniel, you're fixing everything. I hope you can hear us, Daniel. That's all I can say.
So give us a call at the radio station, 888-565-1470. Let's catch up on what we didn't catch up on earlier today. We were going to have a gentleman that you met this morning call into the show and talk about he's collecting goods for the Ukraine to head back over there.
Yes. And do you know that I tried to reach him?
Walter
Fraley. And Walter called me on a different phone.
What are you calling your cell phone?
He called me on a different phone. I don't know. He has like mixes of phones.
I have the information. So they are collecting at the donation site of 5560 North Military Trail, Bay 322, which is the former Salon Bardot. And you met Walter over the weekend, and they are collecting, obviously, non-perishables, toiletries, personal hygiene items for women, toilet paper, toothpaste, anything that is non-perishable, milk in cartons, things that they can actually go overseas and be sent over through Poland, you said.
To Poland, and then they're going to get it in there. Now, my phone is blowing up because my Mercedes dealer is calling me. And he's called me 5 times after I made an appointment for Saturday at 12.
Well, because Saturday is 5 days from now. They want it now.
Well, they can't have it now. But I got to tell you something. My car's worth more today than when I bought it.
You should really listen to this show that we do called the Brooklyn Cafe, and it talks about the value of used cars.
Yes.
And you know how difficult it is to get a used car.
He has no cars.
Exactly.
He's one of the largest Mercedes-Benz dealers in South Florida, which I'm not going to tell you where it is because he'll get mad at me, but one of the largest, and they got no cars.
And no one has any cars. So you're totally in, no pun intended, the driver's seat.
Well, he's going to have to wait now because I'm on the air.
So I want to ask you, let's talk about what they're collecting, how to go about getting in touch with them. If you're interested in donating any items, you can email them at bocahelpsukraine@gmail.com, and you can email Walter. You can always give us a call at the station at 866-224-5422, and we will help you with that. And hours of donations, people were wondering 12 to 3 and 4 to 7. So pop by any of those working hours and drop off any non-perishables, including cereals. They're looking for food that is packageable, anything that you could put in a food pantry that can be shipped over.
And do me a favor, do not leave it at the door.
Okay.
Because what's happening is people are leaving donations at the door. people are coming and taking them home.
Because we have a food crisis in our community.
I know. So if you have any spare food, can't even find food right now.
Yeah, but there are people, inflation is at a 40-year high, and if you can find food, you can afford it. It is so expensive right now just to get basics. And if you don't have a family, it's 2 people. But if you're trying to feed a family of 4, and people were commenting on Passover because many Orthodox families have very, very large families. To try to feed your children, try to feed your family on what it costs right now in kosher food, even more money than regular food. Someone told me a chicken to make soup for the weekend, $30 for the chicken.
Well, if you go
about
to Walmart, I shouldn't say this because it was my secret stash. You can get a lot of chicken for $10 to $12.
But it's not kosher, so therein lies part
You
of
make it kosher. You say it's kosher.
Actually, this person I spoke to said, you know what? Based on the prices, we might have to
Just
give
eat.
up a little bit because you can't afford it. You cannot afford what it costs to feed a
I didn't
family.
see any kosher at Walmart.
But I think
chicken.
Costco might. I'm not sure about
Go
that.
to go to Winn-Dixie
Yes, absolutely.
or get a fake chicken.
So you can't go plant-based on chicken soup. So that's a whole other side
Well, you
of it.
can. It's just not going to taste good.
Is all I can say. But we've got a lot going on. I want to ask you, I was just reading an article when I sat down here today. You know, we're going into, it's tax day, middle of April, what that looks like, and to reassess what we've done in business and what you would change, how you would fix what didn't work. This program, how to fix what's not working. And it can be in business, it can be in life, it can be in relationships. How do you fix what's not working in your business? And you and I had that today. So what are we doing? Take 2 today, right now on the station. But there are things, you called them growing pains a little while ago.
There's nothing more frustrating than to put something together, working at it for 2 weeks, and it doesn't work. And then you can't figure out why it doesn't work. And then there's an outside entity that you did not expect. Like if a lightning bolt hit a transformer and there's no electricity, what can you do?
What can you do?
You can't, obviously you cannot overcome that. Things that people throw at you and do, you have to overcome because that's what the business is about.
There are things in business, you and I have absolutely tried to level up and layer. We were talking to a client today about layering. And we do have the opportunity to work with Comcast, to put your business on Comcast, to create commercials, to pick the zone that you want to put your commercial on Comcast. And what you said is why we do what we do. You see our cafe commercial on Comcast. You see our ad in Boca Magazine. You see our ad all over WNN. You see us now in syndication with WCAP. It's not because we just like to see ourselves everywhere. It's because you need to layer it to get to every single person in a demographic. Those that see, those that like print, those that like to listen, those that are in other regions. Those are worldwide on Roku. So we are here to help all businesses amplify their impact in the same capacity. Even our newsletter went out today.
I know. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that whoever is listening, the information is being checked, it's correct. You ever see, I know people just say, where'd you get the information from? And because they never heard of it, instantly it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not true. If you don't say Wall Street Journal, New York Times, if you don't say, which has made mistakes in the past as well, nothing is legitimate.
But I think the trust factor is huge. And
that's what it is.
What I've realized now more than ever is you and I have been doing this through the pandemic under the umbrella of working with WNN. So grateful that we never had to shut down during the pandemic under the media umbrella working here, is that little by little it grows. And it's the trust factor that you and I show up with our crew authentically. Sometimes our sound's a little drop. Sometimes the connection in Comcast is a little funky. But we show up and we try to share as much information and educate and give everyone an opportunity to grow their business and to share their
But those
voice.
are things that you can't control.
But it's the trust that we show up every day.
That's
and
right.
people are finally seeing that their business, we introduce it on day 1. Week 2, we introduce a little. After month 1, the name becomes a little familiar. By month 2, oh, wait, I think I saw that. By month 3, you're getting a referral. So it takes at least 90 days to get that referral in many cases, unless you're on a one-to-one networking, which we try to do that also on Fridays.
Well, there isn't anything that you shouldn't try. You should be trying everything. Because if you don't try everything, then the naysayers, there's one thing that there's an abundance of. There's people who just don't get it. They don't get it. And I don't want to be hurtful and I don't want to say the wrong thing, but when you don't get it, it hurts your business a whole lot more than you think. Next thing you know is that you're going out there and you're preaching and you're preaching and you don't believe a word you're saying and everybody else picks up on it.
Do you think it's that people? I don't think people don't get it. I think people are experts in their industry, and marketing is a whole nother. Unless you're in the marketing field, you don't know how to market your
That's
business.
because you're being nice.
I'm always nice. It's a side of, if you're not in the radio, marketing, broadcasting business, if you're in the clothing business or you're in a restaurant business, your expertise is making food or selling clothes.
Yeah, but you ain't got to be in the radio business.
But that
to have
is,
a good
if you're not
business.
marketing, then that's why we are here
Marketing
to help.
is every day.
The senior community is
If I do
huge.
piraguas, I don't need marketing.
Absolutely.
If I sell jelly donuts, I don't need marketing. Well, I'm going to eat every jelly donut there is? No. You got to be able to market your product. People have to be able to taste your food with your words. If you sell clothes, they have to be able to wear it with your words. You know why radio is such a hard thing to do? Because you have to be able to speak a language that people feel.
You have to explain it.
And if you don't feel it, then radio is going to be difficult for you to do. Who's that touching me?
Greg,
Who's that?
John,
Hey,
Sam,
John. How are you?
Frank. Very busy here
That's
tonight.
right. So the bottom line is you want to be able to try more than one thing. And if you think that one thing is going to save your business, then you're wrong.
What do you think if a business comes to us today and says, and we've had this happening for the past few weeks, I want to grow my message. I don't know how. I don't know where to start. I have a limited budget, say $1,000. What do I do? What's your advice?
What kind of business do they do?
It is personal referral business. There's not a tangible product. It's not like a bag of coffee. It's more of a communication,
Philosophy?
more of an outreach.
Like a coach?
A coach or ideas or policies. It's not here's your cup of your bag of coffee. Here's your mug. But it's more of a relationship. You need time to build that relationship. So it's not here's $1,000, go sell 100 bags of coffee.
Well, the first thing, no matter what we do, if that's the only thing you're going to do, I'll tell you, you know what, keep your money, good luck. Because if that's the only thing you're going to do, it ain't going to work.
Okay.
I'll be the first advocate to tell you that. The
Marketing.
second thing
Would you
I
go
would
with
tell you to
radio?
do, what?
Radio?
You should do radio, you should do TV, you should do written form, magazine. You should do anything that gets the word out there. Not only that you have a business, but you are the best at what you do. Because you have a lot of whys, you got a lot of people doing the same thing, you got a lot of people who are very clever. Now, you and I know an artist who is very clever and did something on another radio station, and everybody said, wow, the music is on there. No, it wasn't the music. And I show you what the problem was. But it was clever.
Yes.
Very clever.
Yes, very clever, right? It's the strategy of the advertising.
That's right.
It's perception.
Now, we have, what is it, Sunny Delight? Who's next door to us at the food place?
Sunny Stop.
Sunny Stop. Sunny Stop located on 20th? 21st?
Yep.
20th?
Like
21st?
19th.
19th Street.
20th, yeah.
No, 21st, because
Okay.
it's north. 21st on 2nd.
What's on first? What's on second?
On Boca Raton Boulevard.
Yes.
She's the first who's taking in our coffee.
Yes, we're going to bring
deal.
that over tomorrow. She's very excited.
And Frybird up in Linton Avenue. It's the second. And then we're going to Mr. T.
They've got a big announcement coming up at Big T's Marketplace.
We're waiting for that. He told me to wait for that to do it, but I'm going to take it up anyway.
Okay.
And if he tells me bring it back next week, I'll bring it back next week.
Right.
But Sunny
Sunny Stop.
Stop is first. And it's going in there tomorrow. You'll be able to pick up our brand of coffee, our bags,
Yep.
there for the price. And she's going to be put on a website. We're going to take pictures. We're going to have some fun. And that's the most advertising she told me she's done in 13 years.
Well, she's got product again.
She's getting product. I saw the Pepsi truck.
She's getting product
And
again.
she was laughing about that. So she's willing now to try almost anything. She says she may even come on the radio with us.
Nah, I heard the opposite.
Nah,
She
she says she's
said,
sending
no.
the guy that's in the corner.
The guy that's in the corner.
But the object of the game is just willing to try. Try anything and everything to make it work.
But
That's
I'm really
all.
glad to see businesses are reaching out and they're saying, all right, let's get to the next level. It's not a matter of, you can't speed up time is what we were told today, right? You have to be patient with it. And you've got to give it time. It can't be a 1 month run and go. patience. Give it a few months of marketing. Let us see how we can help you. The newsletter went out today, and we try to spotlight business. We try to spotlight an artist every month. We work on spotlighting one of our producers every month. A lot of them are graduating, so we got to spotlight one of our animators this month. Spring is sprung.
Spring is sprung. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Comcast TV deal we got going.
Okay.
Let's talk about how Comcast gave us a special deal, which you're not going to find anywhere. You're not going to find it on Comcast. You're not going to find it nowhere. This is an exclusive deal. It took us 5 to almost 6 years to put this one together.
Your patience and persistence, for sure, paid off.
And so did the virus.
Yeah,
The virus came and took a lot of commercials away. You can put your Comcast commercial on television. You pick the area. You're going to get, do we say it?
What I love about the whole demographic sheet that he sends us is you can look at each zone, whether it be Boca, Delray, Southern Palm Beach County, and you can see the median income and what your target audience is. You can see the ages and what your target audience is. So just, you may think you want Boca because Boca has the highest financial per capita. But actually, if you look at some of the other demographics, they're even higher than Boca on homes that make over $100,000 if you're a high-end product. I was shocked by some of the numbers that I saw today, things that I never really thought about, the way it's broken down. So whereas you have preconceived notions, you have to really look at the information that we get from Comcast and make an educated decision.
And we spoke to people today that told us that they tried this 6 years ago to go on Comcast. They couldn't afford it. And if you look at it now, they can't afford it even less. But our plan,
right?
They can afford.
But what's great is now they're looking to go in alignment with another company that maybe supports what you do or maybe is a great colleague to help offset some costs, and then you can have a broader reach because you've got someone else that's in alignment with what you do, that's not in competition, that actually supports it, and you can actually do 2 businesses for the price of one, but maybe do double or triple your reach. So that's a win-win. That's a great idea.
Do you remember when COVID started and I told you that I met that those 5 companies that were going out?
Yeah.
And they got together and they made one giant mall place to eat. So you have 5 different
It's
people
like a
in this.
kitchen co-op,
And
right?
they used to switch days. Like one day was Chinese, and the next day was Italian. There was a couple of stores, and they used to switch it around. They all survived, and they are now out among themselves. But do you know that they've gone back to their bad habits? So 3 of the 5 already know are very close to being out of business.
Because people don't wash their hands. People go back to bad habits. I don't
get it.
I guess we all do. People can become complacent, and they forget where they were, where they came from, the pain that we all went through, and we all went through pain for the past 2 years. There's not one person that can say they coasted through this.
And you know why? They took less money because they were making less money, but they stayed open. Now they want to make more money. They don't want to share the pie no more, so they went on their own. Signing these humongous leases that are going on right now.
Yep.
There's a lot of open space.
There's
that's
a lot
true.
of open space
But
around
it's
town.
expensive.
Yep.
So now 3 of the 5 here are going to be...
A lot of restaurants went out. Things are reallocating.
That's right. And what you want to try to do is to make sense of the new world order.
And just when you think things don't make sense, like the full moon and everything that has been happening today
That
with
don't
us,
make no sense.
then we get some amazing phone calls and people that are really looking to grow their business. Some long-term clients of yours are now coming forward that want to work with Comcast and want to work to grow their branding side of it. People that you've known for a long time that are now looking to level up their business. I call it 2.0, and make some changes, which is really exciting because you've seen the change.
And it's funny because people, you just shout out the Cafe Press. And I remember when we started doing the Cafe Press, I never thought anybody in their right mind would read it. Now that you made it so a lot of it is push button. It takes you to articles. It takes you to readings. It takes you to videos.
Sure.
It takes you, some of the interns have been highlighted. You did the drop that we did in music for Margot.
Which was great, yep.
Which is
First
terrific.
drop on Amp It Up.
I got to tell you, more people are sending me more music than ever before. The only problem I'm having is that they've already published it.
I think someone sent me another one. Oh, Steve Gubb just sent us another one tonight.
But the problem is that if you're already published,
We can't
then I
use
need
it
permission
from your distributor.
from your distributor to promote it. Otherwise, I can't do it.
But what I love about the Cafe Press is the evolution of it, that our producers put this together. that very rarely do you and I sit down and do this, that this is truly a work of these students that are learning at FAU and Lynn University, and they're honing their journalism skills and they're honing their graphic design skills. And we look at it and make sure, everything's dotted and crossed and commas are where they go as best as you can. They do all of it themselves. And you'll see at the bottom of every edition, someone new was the editor for the monthly edition. And that's what I think is so special. It's their verbiage, it's their insight, it's their interview. And we interviewed Alita Hernandez of the Rebooted podcast, which is new, that airs on Tuesday at 3 o'clock.
And they're going to do a Latin beat piece on Thursdays. I don't think it's this Thursday. I think it's next Thursday. Now, also, before we have to get off the air, who heard the jingle? Did you hear the jingle?
I heard the jingle.
You got to go to Facebook for the Brooklyn Cafe and check out the jingle that Cole wrote and did with Slick. And I pinned it, so you can't say you don't see it.
It's so funny. They did a great job on that. You edited it, put it together. The crew is funny. They work hard, and there's definitely growing pains of growing a business, even after all of these years of what you and I have been working on. Every new step, every growth opportunity is a growing pain. You have to figure it out. And the big interview we did last week with Joe Krieger from Boston BioLife and AMMG, that I reached out for another client who needed some help, and he was so quick. He gave me a gentleman who we're going to interview this week. He's in from California, working with regenerative medicine on some really high-named athletes right here in Florida, and he's making a difference in their life, and he says, I am here to help, and he reached out to help someone else that we know that's going through some rough times. The nicest people, you know what, in this healthcare space, they're here because they want to help. So I'm looking forward. We'll bring Joe in from Boston. We'll interview this gentleman in person in our studio. He's here for 2 weeks from California.
And I have to call Joe because I tried to send him all the videos and everything we did. It was 6 hours file, a 6 hour file. Mm-hmm. So I said, that ain't gonna work. Mm-mm. So I got to call him and see how he wants me to send it. But the information he has is so much that we didn't have enough time in one day to cover everything. And you guys did a lot of work.
But big opportunity. We get to go back.
We're going in Miami, I think, in
June, I believe. There was actually one, I think, coming up this weekend, I was told, in Hollywood. And then there's another one on the A4M anti-aging that's based in Boca. In June, we'll be covering that in Hollywood also.
And this one in Miami is at the same one that they're having in Vegas. And right now, we're going to go to Miami unless Vegas ups the ante, says they want us over there. So more things to come and happen.
But a lot of great information. And my tip of the day, I was reading that if you are 60 and above, you no longer are recommended to walk 10,000 steps a day.
I don't remember
only
anybody
5,000 steps a day. And if you are under the age of 60, they say 7,000 steps a day should be sufficient.
You're making all that up.
100% not. I read it this morning, and I wanted you to know. The idea is just get up, get moving, get your business, get up and get moving, and every step counts.
You said get moving twice.
Get moving. Get up, get moving. Good night, Lucy. Have a great night, everyone. Stay tuned. We've got you and your doctor next, and we will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been